By now, I'm sure you've heard that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the Baron von Novelty Socks, is going to offer confessed war criminal, al-Qaeda murderer Omar Khadr an apology and a whopping taxpayer-funded payday of anywhere from $10 to $20 million. Long story short, Khadr's from the first family of Jihad here in Canada, with his dad and his brothers working for al-Qaeda. Khadr was just shy of his 16th birthday when he was working in the family terrorist business in Afghanistan, building IEDs designed to kill Canadian and American forces. During a firefight where all the women and the children were given ample time to leave, Khadr, who now claims to have been a child at the time, threw a grenade that killed a U.S. Army medic named Christopher Spear and blinded a Green Beret named Lane Morris. Khadr was shot, patched up on the battlefield by Americans who followed the rules of engagement, and then sent to Gitmo for 10 years. What happened to Khadr there, I don't care about. But for all intents and purposes, he wasn't tortured, not that I would care if he was. But now he's getting $10 million and an apology because as a country, we apparently didn't do enough to bring this terrorist treasonous home to enjoy a young offender sentence here. This whole payday, it's like the Palestinian Authority's Martyrs Fund, but for Canadian terrorists, and you don't even have to die to get it. It likely won't deter any future Omar Khadrs, that's for sure. I'm here to bring you, as I almost always do, the Alberta angle to everything. As you may or may not know, Khadr actually lives here in Alberta on the west end of Edmonton, close to his lawyer, Dennis Edney. You can sometimes spot Khadr out and about around town, enjoying his freedom if you know who and what you're looking for. And so, of course, the NDP in Alberta, well, they just had to weigh in on this. And of course, they are on the wrong side of history and normal people. You see, this is Marie Renaud. She's the Twitter troll backbencher MLA of the NDP. She's of the Sandra Jansen faction of the NDP, as in they don't actually do much except complain about bullies online while behaving like the worst of bullies towards Christians, conservatives, just normal people who politely disagree with them. You get where I'm going with all of this. Well, Marie Renaud is on the side of Omar Khadr. She took to Twitter to accuse a couple of very high-profile conservatives of lying about Omar Khadr. The first one is Derek Fildebrandt of the Wild Rose. Fildebrandt tweeted about Khadr actually doing the right thing and maybe donating his windfall to the Spear family. And so Marie called that stirring up hate and misleading people. I'm not sure how bringing up the real victims, fatherless children, is stirring up hate. And in Marie Renaud's next tweet, she accused PC leader and former federal conservative minister of just about everything, Jason Kenney, of lying about Omar Khadr. Kenney pointed out that Khadr admitted to, actually was photographed building IEDs. And so old Kandahar Marie said he was twisting the facts, except nothing Kenney said was untrue. It's the harsh reality Marie and her left-wing terror apologists just don't want to admit. But this is who the left really are. They call us deniers, but they live in this perpetual state of denial running contrary to reality. So what do? Well, if the Wild Rose, the PCs, or the UCP, or whatever the conservative movement looks like in 2019, don't print out Marie's tweets and use them in a literature drop in her riding during election time, what are they even doing? Because not only do normal people find defending a terrorist, a self-confessed war criminal, appalling, it's especially bad when your riding is next door to a Canadian Forces base like Renaud's is. Many active and former Canadian Forces live in her riding of St. Albert, and I'm sure they won't appreciate the apologetics on behalf of an al-Qaeda operative who built IEDs, the same kind that killed 97 Canadian soldiers in Afghanistan. 2/3 of Canadian soldiers who died in Afghanistan were killed by the sorts of devices Khadr was building and training others to build. CFB Edmonton was one of the bases that took the greatest number of casualties and repatriated some of the greatest numbers of war dead. Look, I know the NDP don't want to fight terrorists. They stand on the wrong side of terror just about every chance they're given, from standing against Israel to now supporting Khadr. We know it. But given the high number of war dead Edmonton has taken in Afghanistan, the very least these MLAs could do is shut up about their pet jihadi. By the way, the maximum payout for a Canadian soldier injured in the course of serving this country and defending freedom at home or abroad is $360,000, 27 times less than Khadr's minimum payout. For the Rebel.Media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. At The Rebel, we'll bring you the truth about terrorists like Omar Khadr, the truth the CBC won't ever tell you. To never miss a story, be sure to subscribe to our new Rebel Canada YouTube page.